My name is CiCi, or Silence, and I'm your favorite lovable bunny boy shark girl on the server of Craftocracy. Now, um, as you may know, uh, I run the glorious party of Sky Shatter Industries, or SSI. We're the most active party on the server with the most active members and some of the best infrastructure as well. Considering APC's infrastructure has fallen greatly to some extent due to some new building investments as of late. Today I'd like to speak on some of the drama that has been going on around the party concerning me and some of the plans that we have to help solve these issues and such. First of all, about a month ago, maybe not, maybe 2, 3 weeks ago, the leader of Reform MC Pentagonal made a speech responding to my abhorrently delusional speech. And after that speech, I had a falling out with the server personally and felt that I had wanted to quit. And I had been considering it for a while due to my own motivation with the server and just due to I didn't feel welcome for a little bit, but it's working out. So I decided to stay. And you guys all have to deal with me just for a little bit longer. Or a lot longer. Who knows? Maybe I'll be here till the end of time. Maybe Azos here will take my position. Maybe Gale will die. We'll see soon. But to speak on some of the criticisms that were put against me, a criticism that's been put against me since day one, I want to just plainly call out wrong. It is the criticism of isolationism. Now, a lot of the members at SSI they tend to be socially anxious, and yet my party is called isolationists due to that. Social anxiety is a big issue with some people, and I find it really rude and abhorrent that members are choosing to use that to their own advantage to slander my party. As a party leader, I put my pride and joy into making sure everyone's needs are met, implementing my own task system so everyone can do what they'd like, implementing new rules, vouchers, and necessities to each and every single party leader that has been available, trying to make some form of alliance with some parties and keeping my distance with others for my own reasoning. Now, I understand hearing that may be upsetting that I decided to distance myself from certain parties, but personally, it's for the good of my own party. As much as Reform is a powerful party, and I do have a lot of respect for their leader, I do not have respect for the party themselves. RFM is a party full of mainly delinquent people who tend to only shitpost and shit talk other parties in a nationalistic debate, always having some struggle against SSI as of late. I would also like to comment that APC used to have this issue going against SSI and holding a very hard bias against us in many cases over until their own leader, Jem, who I did have a temporary alliance with during the third election for voting with my presidential appointment, Atlas. As of now, speaking on presidential appointments, as of now, there are 3 candidates for SSI, which I'm not happy about. Typically, a party should remain united, and yet there's so many people trying to run for one presidential position. One seems to be holding themselves together, the other seems to be falling apart at the seams, and the third is me, your leader. Now, in the past, I took presidential debates and such very unseriously. With the second one, specifically during the debate, I legitimately zoned out and started playing a Roblox game in the middle of the debate. That I apologize for. It was really unprofessional and just made me seem like a worse party leader overall, making it seem like I didn't care for any of the political accesses or allies in the server. It was stupid and immature of me for how I acted during that time, eventually killing off multiple members in the sake of joking and uncomfortableness for my own means. I had felt out of place during that segment, but I still know uh, excuse for how mature I acted during it. I didn't pay attention and I tuned out specific questions. That made me seem like an all less a worse party leader, causing to have the worst voting count ever, being a 0 in the second round of voting. Um, During that 0 period, that is where my demotivation began. After I realized how I acted prideful on top of that, and then started putting out bogus speeches like my first one, where I plain out lied about an alliance with APC. I once again apologize for that as well. It is no need in my right to act that way, all sudden, without any truth to it, and acting as if I am superior. Now, in many ways, SSI can be considered superior. By far, we are the richest party on the server, yes. And that isn't to debate, but that isn't a status quo. Riches have nothing to do with it. Anyone can get rich if they put their own mind to it. We have the largest party, which that is an achievement I am very proud of, and I cannot just blame myself for getting us here. I want to thank some of the people in my party, such as Atlas, uh, Gail, even though she had left and was considered a agitation in the party by many members, she had a great impact on getting us a good starting point, and I want to thank her for that. If she is no longer welcome into the party as of now, I do thank her for all the work that she did when she was here. And I'd also like to thank General for still pulling in new members and almost considering taking my position on my terms of when I did consider leaving. On top of that, I'd also like to thank Azasir and Soul, keeping the party alive even though I wasn't here. As two of my best friends, I can appreciate that they were willing to keep on my legacy even if I was considering quitting. Soul is one of our best builders on the server, building 3 new houses just as of late. And Azasir is a wonderful comedy gold and an excellent player who pushes their motivations as far as he can. I have so much respect for both of them, and I'm proud of both of them for being, and I'm just so happy that they're my friends. Um, Carry on. I want to also talk about how I've been called nihilistic, prideful, rude, immature. All of these are true. I am I am not the nicest person, and I understand that. But personally, I don't think the people that were calling me these were the nicest people either. Being rude and tyrannical to their own party members, questioning and forcing votes out of them, and demanding on why they would vote for another party. Along with that, barely managing to keeping their party together is plainly sad and made me have a lot more joy in my own self for running my party so well. As of now, APC is a mess. And as sad as I am to say that, with two of my favorite people on the server, now three, at Bat, Domino, and Gem, the party seems to be in heavy disarray as of late. Due to their own builds, lava pouring everywhere, and a giant boy kisser floating above, it looks like a mess. Don't even forget about the giant sky base that looms over. I feel like I can, and I hope I can come with an agreement with APC to help remodel their base and take control of their party. Not as if like I'm trying to control their party, but where they can take a stand and have more of a say on how their party acts instead of just allowing them to do whatever they want. If they disagree with that, that's fine, but it's only my personal goal to help their party, as I do find it in disarray personally. The voting system we did have would have worked if they had bonded together like a proper party should have. Along with this, I want to speak on RFM too. There was a recent incident where a member has been banned, Relaport, a very influential member on the server known for shit posting and kind of making a lot of people uncomfortable. As I didn't have a problem with him at first, there were times where he seemed demanding and almost pushy towards others, but I didn't have many interactions with him, so all I can say is those are allegations. There is one true thing though. Relaporp had gone too far with some certain jokes relating to a certain group in World War II, which I refuse to say the name of. This is a major offense and a shame on the server. And personally, I am glad that our server owner, Gail, was able to handle this properly and without drama. But I do want to say this leaves a very bad mark on RFM. if Reliporp hadn't been impeached previously, I believe that they would be in a really bad political position, allowing someone that was part of that type of group, or seemingly part of that type of group, whether it was jokes or not, uh, be a political figure on the server. The thing about that impeachment is Reliporp was still appointed as the vice president and won the election. It was only brought up as his impeachment as a joke on the server, and yet I still find heavy distrust in RFM for that decision. It is purely ugly. Now, while I don't believe that Pentagonal, the leader of RFM, knew about this, I don't believe Relicorp should have been appointed for vice president at all. And it's a shame to the party they even allowed that to happen. Um, Not to say that all parties are without faults, though. As I've said before, I acted as immature, irrelevant, and childish during my own parts of the server. Well, I believe that this most recent event is very serious, though. I can admit that all parties have mistakes. Oh, wait, I'm getting fact checked here. Turns out RFM was not an RFN member when he was banned. But that still does not change the fact that he was in RFM and he was appointed for the vice president until he was impeached as a joke on the server. Whether he did it then or now, it's not like there's a difference, like he changed. It was a difference of about 1 to 2 days that this took place. Maybe 3. I haven't been keeping up as of late, but I do know what happened. Um, as to you, RFM, your party, as much as I have some major respect for, it is looking to crumble as well as APC is. Your member count is dwindling as of late, or at least as far as I'm aware. And I hope that your party can gain back the rush that it had before you became president, Pentagonal. I have a lot of respect for you and look up to you as a party leader. You are an inspiration to a lot of people on the server, and I hope you know that. Your party is a wonderful party. I just wish that you could run it just a little more smoothly and a little more direct. And hopefully, when I hopefully become president on this next election, you can look up to me instead and maybe take example from your own party. I have so much respect for you, Pentagonal. I really hope you know that, and I really hope all the criticism that I have for you, you take it to heart instead of taking it to anger and anguish. Your base is mainly non-existent, only having a bunker as of now. I hope that you come to your senses and end up making something a little more visible towards the server. You have an amazing crate builder on your team, which I feel like your base is completely non-existent. I've been fact checked. You have an amazing crate builder on your team, Viscosity, which or V1S, which personally I would have loved to have on SSI instead. And it's sad that you're not utilizing them to their full extent. Along with Gail, I don't know why she left, and I'm not going to ask. I do not care. I have more important matters to deal with my own party, but um, she is an amazing debater and great at gathering people for parties. Whilst SSI has been a major runner for getting people with the most majority ever as of late. Not ever. No, 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 no. That's completely wrong. That's completely wrong. To MSR, um, I want to mention I'm noticing a lot of the same issues that SSI uh, had originally. SSI was really we were very isolated at first, and I'm noticing that with you. And with the branding of your party, it seems more concerning than anything else as you as a major party on the server. I would formally like to invite all of you to a discussion with me and two of my highest second in commands, second and third command, for discussion on an alliance. I feel like this would work out well due to our parties aligning with the own economy-based systems that we have. Um, and I believe we can work out a really strong agreement to the coolest party. I recommend that you step down from this election, and I mean that in the nicest way possible. It's quite obvious that you're made off of a joke and just to fool around. And with how competitive this next election seems to be, I would request that you step down for this election simply so voting is not wasted. I don't know what your goals or intentions are, but just based off the members you have, people that were previously rarely ever active, and someone that is seen as highly controversial into the server at times by multiple people, whilst I don't have a problem with them still, you have one strong candidate, and that's someone who won about 4 months ago. To exploit, you have not been active. I believe you were active once when I originally joined the server, and you are only active now because Gale has asked you to be, or that's what I assume. I have no idea what's going on with you. I don't know who you are. Um, but if your party is I want to mention again, I have no idea what the situation is. This is all up to my interpretation of how I see it. But whatever your goal is, I really recommend that you do not participate in this election. This is going to be a very tight election, and we need as many votes going to proper parties instead of someone that is brand new at this time. It allows just more freedom, and I would purposely like to avoid a re-election of Pentagonal or ABC. I'm fine with either me or I'm sorry winning, or if I'm not even appointed, one of someone at SSI. I believe we need a little more variety on the server due to what happened with APC winning 3 times in a row. And then finally RFM stood up and spot almost tying with SSI in the first round and getting one extra vote in the second. So yeah, I just purposely and I would just personally like to ask you that you step down. I have great hopes for that if you take your party seriously and this isn't a joke party like I interpret it to be, that you guys can be a great party and SSI will at least support some of you in your endeavors if we see promise. I can promise you that much. Whilst I don't know how much support we would be willing to give you at the time, because you are very new and we'd like to see a little bit more from you. Um, we'll be willing to discuss business once we see what you can accomplish. But for now, we personally ask that you do not participate in this election under any circumstance. We need as many votes going to the proper parties as we can. So, yeah. And I mean this. I'm not trying to personally attack you. I don't think your leading capability is bad, but you are a new party that nobody really knows so far. And I'd hate to see 3 votes just be wasted and having to go to another tie that could be possible. I see this next election being very competitive between 3 of the major 4 parties. Moving on. Um, so back to RFM. They had a lot of complaints about SSI. Or me, per se. And while that may make them sound bad and may make them sound like they're jerks or a dick, their concerns were completely right. I can admit that fully and state that yes, I had a lot of problems running my party for a while, becoming almost a dictatorish person at some point. But I believe I've changed for the better, allowing my party to have much more freedom than it did before. And I'm currently working on reestablishing my task system to a more lenient and free way, only to simply motivate members instead of making them feel intimidated to do what I ask them to. All parties should have their goals and their what they want set out. You shouldn't just sit there and expect to win or expect to make development when you're not directing your party. And that's exactly where my task system came in. Um, any leaders that would even be interested in adopting this? I personally you can adopt it if you want, but I would like you to speak with me on it, considering I'm the one that started this. I want to help you in any way possible if you're considering this type of strategy for your own party. It has worked wonders for SSI and allowed us to do so much in such little time. And whilst we've taken a break now, I believe our progression in the future will be skyrocketing even further with my new system. So I recommend that you at least think about following in my footsteps and taking a stroll or a look at yourself and considering how this efficiency can benefit the party. And if you think I'm wrong, well, if we could get a screenshot of what RFM and APC's bases look like on the screen. If not, you can find out yourself. But just eh, comparing them to SSI space, this space, we have an open stage. We have an open stage. We have, let's see, we have multiple buildings, a watchtower, a beacon, all this. Even someone as individual as Sauce Dude, one of our closer allies, or at least I'd assume him to be someone close to us, considering he lives just over that way, is a fully functioning base that is all on his own and is the only thing that can really rival SSI in terms of structure quality, at least that I'm aware of. So, yeah, I just feel like these other parties, all of you guys, should really step up your game and really look forward to our steps. And if that's not what you want to do, then please just boost your efficiency. So far, all and there's a statement. Uh, Pentagon has specifically said, I can actually give me a moment here. I'll speak on something else while I look at this. But Pentagonal specifically mentioned something which came to great concern to me when I noticed it. It was basically mentioning that, let's see here. Uh, Sorry for the wait. I'm just trying to find this message. Okay, well, um, fortunately I can't find it, but he mentioned in the message that, and I am being completely honest with this, I'm not lying out of my mouth, but he completely mentioned, I can quote it correctly, CC is right. I have done nothing other than being political on the server. And as much as I could be wrong about this, I assume he's implied he's done nothing other than put his political goals in front of him. I also want to mention RFM is just filled with shit posters. I seriously can't take them seriously as a party. As a party, I can take Pentagonal seriously as a leader, but I cannot take RFM seriously at all. And if you're saying that, and if you try to make the rebuttal that you can't take SSI seriously, you simply haven't looked around or seen any of our developments, and you're choosing not to. And if you think that we haven't developed in any way, you're lying. Because it's very obvious that we have developed with our economy, with our planning, with our outreach. Even me, with taking a more serious role in my party and not just being some practical joker, some comedian that stands up here and says some things kind of loudly and acts like an idiot, a childish, pathetic idiot. I don't like it when I do that. And it's only a tool that I use to comfort myself when I feel uncomfortable. So, put it simply, I'm taking this a lot more seriously now. When I first joined the server, I tried to take it seriously, and I was immediately told it's only a Minecraft server. Don't. Recently, the person that told me that changed their mind and said that they never said that, which was completely wrong. And maybe I misinterpreted what they meant by "I never said that," quoting, "I never said that." Um, but yeah, I'm gonna take this seriously now, and it's not gonna be to the point where it's serious and affects me, but to the point where I'm just not joking around the entire time. I have enough self-respect for myself to do that. Now, speaking on the actual leaders of these parties, whilst I don't take you seriously, well, whilst I don't take your party seriously, I take you seriously. Pentagon is one of the best political speakers I have seen on this server, and Gem is just amazing at bringing communities together. If I personally could, and it wouldn't cause issues, I would both formally invite you to SSI, but we all know that's not happening. And I don't mean that in a mean way. It's just that's the whole bottle of problems, isn't it? But yeah, I have so much respect for both of you, and along with some of the members in your party as well, such as example being Domino or Peppa. Domino is a great public speaker and managed to become president twice on the server. And Peppat is an active member that loves to interact and bring people together. They're very sweet. Domino's cool. Gem is nice. Pentagon is serious and can be funny when he needs to be. All of these people are amazing on the server, and I'm so lucky to even be around them. I personally don't even remember how I wound up here, but I did, and now I'm here to stay. And I really hope all of you guys can just learn to respect me a little bit more. One issue I've always had is I've never felt respected on this server, to be honest. I've always felt like a joke to a lot of people. A lot of people don't take me seriously or think I'm just rambling for the sake of it, or at least that's how I feel. And while it could be my own paranoia, I just don't feel like I was taken seriously for a part of it. And that's fine. Take me seriously, don't, or don't. I don't care. I won't care. This is my party. This is how I will run it. And frankly, if you think I'm a bad party leader, I don't care. I run my party very well. Any one of my members can tell you that. Any one of my members can tell you, yeah, I have a lot of respect for my party leader. When I was originally planning on quitting, I put up a poll, one last poll, just to see the night I was going to leave, how many of my members would want me to stay. All of them asked. All of them asked me to stay. There was not one single vote that told me leave, that told me we don't want you here. Every single person that voted on that poll, all 8 of them, all said they wanted me to stay. And I love my party for that, for giving me the motivation just to keep here one last time. So that's why I'm still here. I also mentioned I was going to be speaking on some plans. Currently, we have 3 major plans. As you know, lore has been in development and is seen as a really controversial thing. And well, I'm not sure on the scale of whole wide server thing. I'm going to be pushing for my own story lore in SSI exclusively for now and hope that it can outreach to other parties within just build lore. I'll be posting a video on that shortly, which should explain all these topics so you can get lost. This won't affect the outside of the server and is purely something inside of SSI just for fun so the members can enjoy it. So I really hope it doesn't feel like I am pushing my own objectives on anyone else as it seemed before. Because frankly, even I understand, hey, that's not cool. It's not cool to do that. It's not cool to force your own like goals and what you want onto the server just because you think it's cool. That will never be cool. That's a dick move. And personally, I would hate to be that type of person that forces that onto others. That would tear me apart personally. To force my own goals and who I want onto others and make people participate in something that they don't even know what they're doing into a convoluted mess that isn't discussed due to my own acting and how I like to improv everything. It doesn't clash well with some other people. So I decided to push the lore to a whole nother perspective to exclusive at SSI. And whoever or whatever party wants to join in on that, they're welcome to. Even if it fails, even if my entire plan fails, I still have motivation that even if this fails, my other goals shouldn't. Along with that, thanks to General D, my third in command at this rate, we are building a mall, the Coconut Mall, I believe it's called, or at least that's the project plan. I can't wait for all of you guys to see it, and SSI will be managing it for now due to just it's our entire goal of the party. We are the economic party, or at least that's what I like to view us out. Thirdly, economic push. We're going to be putting out a lot of shops soon. This is to help newer players just get a good start onto the server, even older players get some decent items or things that seem like out of their reach. Such an example, due to the minecart system that Crate has, we'll be putting out certain Crate machines. Courtesy of me. Now, you might be questioning why we would do that. Um, So it's been a long question on the server on economy, how we want to handle it, and we personally think after a long discussion that diamonds are just going to be the best way to handle it because villagers mass produce everything you can mass produce. You can mass produce diamonds if you want to. It's a long convoluted system, but you can. There's no real currency method that we can use other than diamonds and netherite. And netherite's too expensive for new players, so we've decided on diamonds. Considering we are the only party that can mass produce diamonds at the current moment, that's why we're going to be taking over the economy soon. Because, well, shouldn't be fair that we are so rich and we're just using our excess resources to take from other parties. That seems really unfair. We'll be using our resources to give to other parties. That's the entire point. We want other parties to succeed. We want independence to succeed. We want to see you succeed, dear viewer. Now, this may all seem boring and blah 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 and tralalero tralala, pocolitilo, pocola, I don't care. But in the end, we want to see everyone succeed. And we want a united server, which is why the biggest thing that we'll be pushing for, the state system. The state system is something that needs a lot more time to go into depth soon too. This would take like an hour to explain in total, but for the most simplified explanation I can give before I give it to a proper speech that will be happening soon, the state system would allow certain parties that fall under special conditions to make a state zone. This state zone, a appointed leader from that party will be made president or mayor of that area, and they will have total control over that. No, 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 not total control. They will have some control over that area in terms of builds, people that are there, the people that live there, the people that rent, even if they aren't part of the party, and some effects on economy. Of course, major decisions will be sent to the party leader, and there's still a lot to discuss on it with other party leaders on this. So anything I'm saying right now is not final. I repeat, this is not final. This is a long discussion and a lot to explain. So whatever you're hearing now, please do not get your hopes up. It is simply the idea that I have that a lot of other leaders are also interested in due to specific conversations and requires a lot of work to make sure we get this right. So this is just my take on it. Yes, but of course, major decisions will be led through the party leader, which will be led through the party members themselves. So, for example, just like appointments, a majority vote would have to be made to either deny or agree on that decision. For example, let's say I was appointed mayor and I wanted to specifically move the beacon next to me on my right here. That beacon was not made by me, but I think it's in the way and it's ugly. I don't, by the way. It's fine. I'm fine with it being there. I'm making a sample. I would put up as that is part of the state. Should we move the beacon to somewhere else? And if the party voted in a majority no, we would not move the beacon. If yes, we would move the beacon, and the main party leader and the main mayor will decide on where it should be moved with agreement of the party holding in another vote. This won't be standardized votes on the website to avoid uh, miscommunication on the website. We will be using the Discord polling system for for simplification and to avoid complications in the party. This also makes the vote public, so the party leader can at least help address. Okay, I've been told the Discord polling system will not be used for this, which is kind of stupid because there's no really way to break it. Oh, okay, we're back. Okay, so I'm being told that the major system would be web app polls that the uh, mayor could manage. I find that to be kind of convoluted and silly, and as much as the website it can be useful, it can be a bit buggy and take a while to work. So I don't know how that's gonna work, but you know, cool. You do you. Back to what I was saying. I feel like that's kind of important. Yeah, but this is the basic, and I mean very basic idea for the state system. Nothing is final of what I'm saying. This is all just up to idea and simple ideals. So do not take this seriously. Do not hold this against me. Do not think I am serious, and this is a final decision. This is something that will be discussed.
Are you sure?
Anyways, moving on. But those are the major plans, ideals, and wants that we have for the party. Sorry for the long speech. I wish it could have been a little bit shorter, but I guess I gotta go on one last thing. Uh so as you know, I'm gonna be putting myself up for party leader. Not party leader, president again. I really hope that this time you all can trust me and give your faith towards a society that I at least know what I'm doing. This is being held to voting, so if I do win, and it is not guaranteed that I win, but if I do win, I really hope that you guys can have your own trust in me and less doubt in my abilities. For once, I just genuinely ask that you don't doubt me. I try. I try really hard to, at least to my best extent, run things properly. So, yeah, I just really hope that you guys can, you know, work with me on this. Anyways, that's all I have to say for now. If you have any questions, you can DM me if you're part of the server. If you want to join the server, links in the description. I think. Maybe. You'll find out. And one final thing that I definitely cannot be fact checked on. Azosir is a woman. That's right. You heard it loud and clear. Azosir is a woman. come up on the stage and say it yourself, then. Excuse that. Anyways, I hope you guys all have faith in me, and yeah. Stand ready for my arrival, worm. You were given orders. You were given time. You were given more leeway than most, and yet I still find this server unprepared for our SSI takeover.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?